Hello, friends. Welcome back. Welcome back. 936, John Potter, Life and Local, and here's Derek.
Hey, John.
You need a microphone, man.
Oh.
I think that's helpful.
Hold on a second.
So,
All right, we're good to go now.
see, you're getting too comfortable.
I guess.
It's been over a year, and I learn something every day with you. How was your week, my friend?
Oh, it was great, John. How was your week?
Super. I feel great. I was just telling you, I should have saved it for on the air, but I worked 8 hours here yesterday, and I forgot to bring food to the station. So basically, I didn't eat anything from the time I got up, which is always around 4:30 in the morning, until I got off work here, 6 p.m. yesterday. I felt great the whole time. I didn't have the hunger pains or anything. I don't know what it is about your capsules.
Pretty
It's
amazing, huh?
witchcraft, right? It's brainhealthformulas.com, folks. Let me start with the most important brain news of the week. And it's really alarming news. Alzheimer cases are expected to nearly double by 2050, reaching a staggering 13 million cases. Is this believable to you?
Yes.
What do you have that can help, Derek?
Well, that's actually one of the... I love this, by the way, John. I had no idea this is what John was going to talk about.
No, you never do.
Yeah.
Folks, this is not rehearsed at all. I just, look in Google News, brain news, and there's all this brain news every week. People are never stopping with their research on the brain.
Yeah.
So, Alzheimer's. I should have read the article further to find out why Alzheimer's cases are going to double by 2050. Do you have any theories? I didn't read the article.
I do. I actually know quite a lot about this. So this is something I've been researching a lot lately. It's about, I believe, Alzheimer's has to do with, well, science says it has to do with a lot of plaque buildup in the brain, which was why we can't recall memory, right? So one of the areas I've been looking into is a neurotransmitter called GABA, G-A-B-A, gamma aminobutyric acid. And so what I found out this week is majority of all pharmaceuticals attach to a GABA receptor somewhere in the body. So GABA receptors are responsible for developing cholesterol in the liver. So that's all your statins attached to a GABA receptor in the liver. Pharmaceutical drugs attach to GABA receptors in the kidney. Pharmaceutical drugs to reduce heart rate and blood pressure attached to GABA receptors in the heart, in the vascular system, in the lymphatic system. Arguably, that is what diuretics do, is manipulate the fluid dynamics by attaching a drug to a GABA receptor that controls the fluid dynamics within the lymphatic system. So just based on that brief overview, that all would also affect the fluid dynamics within the brain, because GABA receptors controls the fluid generation in the brain also. So if we have an abnormal membrane in the brain, then that's when plaque can start attaching to it. So that's a single source of, if we look at a GABA receptor, which is in every single organ and gland in the body and also in the brain, including the central nervous system. If we can fire up that specific amino acid called GABA, we can actually reactivate all the GABA receptors, not only in the brain, also we can repair the central nervous system and regenerate every single organ or gland in the body, because the GABA receptors are saturated in our entire body everywhere.
Which of your products really focuses on that? Which has the most GABA?
That is a great question, John. So we upgraded our sleep formulas a couple weeks ago. That all has GABA in it. That to me, that formula puts me to sleep.
It
I love
works while you're sleeping?
Yeah, it works while we're sleeping. We can actually rebuild the nervous system while we are sleeping. So that's the two new sleep formulas are doing that. The frayed nerves formula has a low dose of GABA so people can functionally get through the day without dealing with nerve pain. And our new formula, Nerve Tranquility, actually addresses anxiety and nervousness. And we added citrus to this formula because that accesses different parts of the brain, so we can access different glands and different organs in the body through those neurotransmitters via GABA.
That's excellent that you have. What's the name of the product?
Nerve Tranquility is the newest one that we just released today. I just wrote the information this morning.
I thought there was a previous one that had GABA.
Frayed nerves.
Frayed nerves.
That's
it.
the one.
All right, frayed nerves and nerve tranquility, the two products that have the most GABA as contents in your products.
And the sleep formulas do now
And
also.
the sleep formulas.
Yep.
I love that. Well, this article, okay, first off, I should read that article. Well, why Alzheimer's going to double by 2050?
Because pharmaceutical drugs attach to the GABA receptors,
Okay.
and they disrupt the communication in the GABA receptors, even the
Right.
potential in the brain.
Right, because it's unnatural.
That's right.
It's not how things are supposed to go. Well, the end of the article says their solution was it's always that cop-out answer. It's exercise. Well, duh, because exercise increases blood flow and that delivers oxygen to the brain. Okay, so everything can have that solution.
Yeah.
But you want to help your brain out with these products like Nerve Tranquility and Sleep Well and Frayed Nerves.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. I mean, I read like 20 research documents in like 2 hours Monday morning, and I rehashed.
Aren't you fun?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And I rehashed the information about 5 hours later and composed it in maybe about 1 hour. And that was the first time I read any of that information. I read through it once and was able to spit it out a few hours later. And I'm like, I can't believe I just retained all that data I knew nothing about before that.
And that's something.
And then was able to reconfigure it to where it's a relatable option. And I'm like, this is because GABA is responsible. It's a single, that just not having enough GABA, because we produce GABA in the brain, if we don't have enough, that in itself can be a single factor of why we cannot recall memory as well.
What is the difference between, because they sound similar, Nerve Tranquility and Frayed Nerves?
There's the different amount of GABA, different amounts. The frayed nerves is more based on someone trying to get through the day without experiencing too much pain, reducing stress without having the physical, because GABA can make you sleepy, can make you feel extremely relaxed. And so some people notice a very huge benefit because they don't have the nerve pain. That's been some of the response from frayed nerves formula. And so what the difference is between the frayed nerves and Nerve Tranquility is the mechanism and how we address the nervous system is slightly different. And so the Nerve Tranquility is really about gaining access into suppressing the overreaction of the anxiety and nervousness, so we can really just kind of knock it down pretty quickly.
Well, here's another great thing. Your sale is buy 3 get the 4th for free.
Yes, that's something that people really seem to enjoy, so we're just going to keep going with it.
More the merrier.
That's it.
BrainHealthFormulas.com. And the second biggest brain health story I saw in the news, and it reminded me so much of your products. This new study says, and forgive me if I don't pronounce this right, creatine,
Yeah.
boosts the brain. It's most commonly linked to muscle building. That's why people take creatine. The supplement, though, can actually encourage short-term memory and clear thinking because it's made from 3 amino acids. And I thought of you right away because you've been touting amino acids for the brain for over a year with me on this show here. So they're getting onto something here that you've been talking about all this time. Creatine boosts energy production, which is why it's used with fitness and sports, but the brain needs a lot of energy too to function optimally.
One of the benefits of creatine is it carries fluid into the muscle cells. And so that's one of the benefits from people who lift weights, who train a lot, is it enables the muscle to recover that much faster. And if we look at that same parameter, if creatine is carrying fluid through a cellular membrane, then it can actually rehydrate the functionality of the brain that much more efficiently, and it would have a temporary memory benefit.
You love this, don't you?
I
Because
do.
when you're telling me this stuff, you have a big smile on your face. You just love finding out this stuff.
I do. I didn't know until you read it. I didn't know that article.
No, I don't tell you ahead of time.
Yeah.
But I know you always have an answer. I trust you to have that much knowledge that you can come back with the exact truth of what the article says. It's fascinating to me. You're getting me into it now. But he loves this, folks, and that's why, I guess that's why you seem to come out with a new product every week. You just cannot stop playing around with your formulas.
I can't. It's actually kind of troubling in a certain way with me. It's disturbing. But you know, it's something that I like to heal. I like to repair myself. I like to see what I'm actually capable of doing. And by me being able to push those boundaries of what's capable, it also enables me to develop a formula to enable everyone else to be the best individual each person can be.
Yes.
And so this is, I like to learn about how I can push myself, and then I get to also be able to communicate how individuals can be their best self also.
Your excitement is contagious, and like I said, your products make me feel just fantastic. They really do. BrainHealthFormulas.com. Derek Lee, we're going to be back with one more segment, but today, folks, I don't know how long he's going to have this deal. It's buy 3, get the 4th for free. Buy 3, get the 4th for free. The website already gives you the 4th free automatically.
That's correct.
All right, BrainHealthFormulas.com. We're going to be back. If you have any questions, text or call 884-9910. One more. Derek Lee is with me, BrainHealthFormulas.com. And I still, after over a year with you, have so many questions. Are there any, I think somebody asked me to ask you this, are there any traditional vitamins that are best for brain health?
It's a good question. Traditional vitamins, I would say no. However, there's been a lot of research, methylated vitamins, like methylfolate. It's a methylated folate, which is very easy for humans to absorb. I believe that's a very beneficial one. There's been a lot of science that has communicated that when something is methylated, it's a lot easier for us to absorb and utilize, which I tend to agree with. But typically, vitamins in general are chemical synthesis designed to replicate a natural food substance, which is how we typically get our vitamins. Unfortunately, that there's a lot of science that says we only absorb 1 to 5% of vitamins.
Oh, really?
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
So,
and they're kind of faddish. I remember a time when, talk show hosts were saying, "Oh, this vitamin's good. Forget vitamin D. I call it vitamin dub, vitamin D." And then a couple of years later, it was all the rage. It was the sunshine vitamin and things. Well, the latest hot vitamin for brain health, if you Google News this, Tufts University did research, and they said not enough vitamin K can increase inflammation and hamper neural cells in the hippocampus, the portion of the brain that generates new cells and is central to learning and memory. Vitamin K.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, found in green leafy vegetables, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, green peas, kale, and spinach. I'll pass. But vitamin K. And then a couple years from now, then they'll find out that, no, it's not so good. I got so much fish oil at home. Do you want some?
No.
Because I read an article that it doesn't do anything. And here I bought a ton of it.
Yeah. There is benefits to fish oil.
You still believe?
I believe there's benefits to it. The question, I've got lots of questions also, because fish oil is arguably the best source of omega-3, 6, and 9s.
Well, the article I read said if you eat the actual fish,
it's better.
That's a lot better. The pills are a totally different thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, no vitamins really. What vitamins do you take every day?
I don't typically.
Yeah, see?
I will occasionally I'll take a chelated calcium supplement, just when I feel like I'm deficient in calcium, like if my teeth start hurting, or if I like to sleep on my side, if I notice that my jaw is starting to shift. So sometimes I'll take a chelated calcium supplement, or also sometimes the micronutrients is actually the best for that. That's how I actually was able to reset my jaw, was just by taking the micronutrients.
The body always sends messages. All right, how are the YouTube videos? Folks, you can go on YouTube and search Brain Health Formulas.
We are behind in uploading those to the website.
Busy man.
Yeah, there's a lot going on all the time. And so today we're going to upload the last 2 weeks, the last episode with Dr. Kelly, and then this week today. And I'm just gonna have my guy load it without music and without subtitles, because this way we can just get them on there and so people can view it.
So this, folks, we just touched the surface on this show. I'm a simple man. And so Derek gets a lot more technical. He has doctors and skilled guests on his YouTube channel, Brain Health Formulas on YouTube. The sale is buy 3, get the 4th for free. And this is on everything, including the brand new product, which is Nerve Tranquility. That and frayed nerves and the sleep well have the GABA, have most of the GABA in his products that he's talking about. But all his products do different things. You of course have the product that puts you to sleep. I use it every night. You have Restore, which, man, it just revitalizes. And you have some like substitutes for things like caffeine, don't you?
No, we don't.
Oh, you don't?
We don't use it.
Yes,
The
yeah.
only stimulants that might be in any of our products would be in the memory formula.
Okay.
Ginkgo biloba and gotu kola are considered to be stimulant based, but those are they're natural herb extracts that have that effect for people. It's pretty fascinating.
Great. And you're taking customers at your location too.
Yeah, we have a lot of walk-in people who like to ask questions, and I like to give information. So I truly encourage that.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
And it all comes from Minden.
Yep. We do everything there.
All right.
Pretty
Cool.
interesting.
Anything else, my friend?
Well, I can't stop being entranced with GABA and the GABA receptors. The GABA receptors actually improve and regulate the amount of blood that can circulate within the kidney itself, and also improves and encourages proper blood circulation in the brain. And so, I delved into this big time this week. I'm trying to understand how do a lot of pharmaceutical drugs work,
Mm-hmm.
and do a lot of these pharmaceutical drugs attach to GABA receptors in the body.
Yeah.
And so this is something I went head first into, and I was disturbed to find out that that's what they do. That's why they're so effective, is because they add a chemical substance to a GABA receptor, which affects the body, but it also disrupts the transmission in the brain.
Well, it's all about, and you touched on this today, it's all about blood flow, which sends oxygen to the brain. But get some help at brainhealthformulas.com. Buy 3, get the 4th free. Thank you, Derek Lee.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure as always.
Oh, yeah, it is. And put this video, you've been recording this on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
All right.